TIFU by getting dragged by my husband across the globe.
TW, suicide ideation. Background: I'm late 30s, a SOM since COVID. I'm not exactly in the best of health, been having a lot of heart, liver, and hormonal issues, and my mental health is also in the doldrums for having been off my meds for 4 years due to financial reasons. Ever since marriage my life had been dedicated to my son and my husband, and I haven't made a single major decision for myself, career-wise, hobby-wise, or anything that remotely matters to me. I kept on telling myself that things would be better when my son's a bit older, that only then I could take care of myself, but the way I realize it now, it's going to be far from the truth.
This year, after staying 10 years in my country, we are a biracial couple. Husband decided that it's time to jump ship and go back to his home country, taking me and our son with him. It was a harrowing process, and I admit I had been primarily on autopilot, because who else would take care of the logistics and move like a functional adult, packing, sorting things, endorsing stuff that would be left behind, etc. Now is our 13th day in his home country and I'm just emerging out of the autopilot haze. We are staying currently with Mila, and though I can say that she's a good person, it disturbs me to no end that he's acting more of her son than my husband, not making plans and persisting on being a man-child. The last straw was yesterday. We were in a mall and we were trying to order food. I was trying to tell husband what I wanted to order.
I was trying to pronounce the food's name, but it turns out I might have mispronounced the words. A group of youths behind us started laughing, and never have I been more humiliated for trying in a long time. Now, all of them, my son, my husband, and his mother are outside enjoying themselves. While I sit here trying to write this between my sobs. I just wish I stood up for myself and my wants. I wish I told him off, or in the very least, I wish I got away. Now it's too late, and here I am just wanting to kill myself. I've never felt so lonely. I've never felt so alone. TLDR, I was a spineless human being that husband dragged across the globe, and I am perilously regretting my decision.
Moving to a new country is always hard. You're probably also experiencing culture shock, which makes it extra hard. Are there any things you like about the country? Is there any chance you could take lessons to learn the language a bit better to feel more comfortable? And if it's all no and you've decided you hate the country and everything that comes with it, is there any chance you can go back home? Maybe your husband is so excited to be back in his home country he's blinded to you struggling without meaning to? I'm sorry you feel that way. That sounds really hard.
First of all, you might feel lonely now. But this feeling will pass. Your son loves you unconditional. It's your son. Your husband should love you too. Take a stance and talk to him. Tell him you need a bit of support. See how everything proceeds. If you can't find a glimpse of happiness, could you consider telling your family to go back home? What do you wish for? Clarify that for yourself. Suicide is never an option because starting anew might be troublesome, but it always opens up new possibilities. Figure out what works best for you. Literally the exact same thing happened to me. On maternity leave, husband decided it was time to go live in his home country. Also on autopilot I went along with it. It never got better. Even moving out of in-laws, it was lonely and isolating, and I moved back with my son after 6 months. Tell your husband how you feel. It's not going to be a fun conversation, but you're literally over here thinking about suicide. No conversation supersedes that, no matter how hard it is. Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself and tell your family, including your mill, how you feel. Your opinion matters and should be counted just as much as everyone else's. I hope things get better for you. Godspeed.
I hope it's not Pakistan or a similar country.
It is never too late, honey.
You are not spineless. By any means. You are beyond brave. Moving to a new country and culture foreign to you. Having no other connection other than your husband. You did this because you believed it would be beneficial for your child, without care to the potentially negative impact to yourself. Do you have any family or friends back home who may be able to help you and your child return? Reach out. Even if it's been far too long since you last spoke, you need to establish those lifelines. They will help you keep the hope of being able to free yourself from your current situation. Start hiding money away for your eventual escape. This is not permanent. Just remember that it's only temporary. You have the strength in you to carry on and the will to free yourself. It won't be easy, but I know you can do it. If you need someone to talk to, I'm always here. And even when you don't have the strength to believe in yourself, know that I do. Smiling face with hearts sending love, hugs, and strength. Not being able to make decisions for yourself isn't normal. You can't be a good mother for your son if you don't prioritize yourself first. Remember the saying, you can't burn yourself to keep someone else warm. Doesn't sound like your husband is that great either, to be honest. Why has he not prioritized your meds? If he has the funds to move you halfway across the world, he has funds to help you with your meds. Please don't lose your independence. My mother did after we moved to a new country, and I honestly hate her for it. She used to be so self-sufficient and powerful when I was younger. And then we moved and she became completely dependent on my dad because of language differences and because she doesn't feel confident. I wish she did. She only started getting bolder in her 60s and asking my dad for more of what she needs in life. Do you want to wait for your 60s before you stand up for yourself? You need to have a lot of honest conversations with yourself and your husband. If he isn't prioritizing your health, mental or physical, then why are you still with him? My parents immigrated to the West and moved around a lot. It's been about 40 years since, and they did it for me and my brother. We were born here. Their English is not very good still, and they struggle with certain things. But I have nothing but love and respect for my parents and am so proud of them and appreciate all their sacrifices they made for us. Your son will feel the same. But it takes time and experience to learn. You can do this. Your son will be so proud of you, and you should be proud of yourself too. I am sorry it is hard, but it will get easier. I am tearing up just thinking about my parents right now. You can do this. I am also living in my husband's home country right now and experiencing loneliness and homesickness. Living in a MIL's place is the pits. However, it was completely my choice, and it's a great non-misogynistic place. Just not home. If you want to vent, I'm here for you.
These abbreviations are getting out of hand. What is a SOM?
First, can I say this? Please realize your husband is going through his own adjustment period. Perhaps that is causing the man-child behavior. Being back with his own mother has triggered this. Second, spare a thought for your son. This is probably a big adventure for him at the moment, but I am guessing he has never known anything other than where you came from. He is going to suffer loss too. Thirdly, you are the most important person to both your son and your husband. They would be beyond devastated if you ever did anything rash. If you did, your son is likely to follow suit, or at least want to for the rest of his life. Fourthly, you are the most important person to you. If you cannot care for yourself, you cannot care for the most important people in your life, and that in turn will make you feel worse. It's a downward spiral. Take it from someone who knows. Lastly, action time. Please do the following. Does your new country have universal health care? I hope so. Your old country didn't, so going back is counterproductive. But even if not, go see a suitable physician and get yourself back on your meds. This is a must in the short term. You need to get some equilibrium back. At the same time, pull your husband aside quietly and say to him you are not coping. Say you are really struggling with the language barriers and the whole move. Now this part is important. Do not threaten him in any way. Do not say you want to unalive yourself. Most people cannot deal with that and don't know how to respond. They may even respond badly, but not intentionally. Please save that for your doctor. TLDR. Be empathetic. Your family is going through an adjustment period. Not just you. Get yourself back to a doctor and on your meds ASAP. Do not wait. It is more important than money. Lastly, gently tell your partner you are really struggling. Try to do it without tears and do not use emotional blackmail. In place of tears, use hugs. For a male, a hug means an awful lot and can help them understand your needs are serious. It will help trigger the protective response. I do not want to come across in any way other than to give you the love and strength you need to take the next step. Remember that you only need to worry about the next step. The steps beyond that are in the future and should be dealt with in the future. I've been there. When I moved to another country, getting a good variety of food was an issue. I kinda broke down when I saw that I'd lost a bit of weight in a short time. I'd not really been overweight. Culture shock is a big deal, but there are methods of adapting. Getting into the local culture can help, especially the language. Also, making friends, not just husband and son. Probably best if some are local friends. They can help you learn about the local culture, customs. Friends from home would be good for finding how they adapted.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Heracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.